Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel with another impromptu live stream. Yes, it is now time for week 10 of the 22-23 EFL Championship predictions. And it has to be said that week 9 was obviously postponed because of the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. So that is why there was no games in week 9. And literally I did that stream on Thursday, and I did not know what was going to happen then. But anyway, just obviously clarify. I'll go through week 7 and week 8 again, shall I? Well, let's why not. So obviously week 7 I did get 16 points, 3 perfect scores. Coventry 0, Preston 1, Bristol City 1, Huddersfield 0. Watford 2 and Middlesbrough 1 as well. And I beat everybody in the comments that day as well. Week 8 I got 5 points. And again another perfect score as well. So I'm trying to keep up with my perfect score a week as it stands as well. So it's getting there. It's getting there. I can see a few people in the chat already. Good evening, Nathan. Hope you are well, my friend. Good to see you in here. And hello, Jade. Hello. Hi, chat. Be nice to Cardiff. Yeah, you guys got a really difficult game this weekend, or this midweek anyway. So yeah, we've got a full card of the Championship fixtures. We do have a full card of Championship fixtures. Blackburn Rovers against Watford, Huddersfield Town against Wigan Athletic, Hull City against Stoke City, Middlesbrough against Cardiff, Swansea City against Sheffield United, Preston North End against Burnley, Luton Town against Coventry, Millwall against QPR. Norwich City against Bristol City, Rotherham against Blackpool, Reading against Sunderland, and a nice wee derby between West Brom and Birmingham City. So very, very interesting stuff as well. So we'll go through the fixtures and we'll obviously preview and predict these. So the first game to preview and predict is Blackburn Rovers against Watford. Blackburn not on the best of form. Let's just say they're certainly not on the best of form, are they? When I obviously get the EFL Championship table up, because they haven't actually been in the best of form recently, have they? And it has to be said that it's 4 defeats out of the last 5 for Blackburn. It's not the best of form, not the best of form at all. Watford, again, their form's a bit patchy, isn't it? 3 draws, a defeat, and a win as well. So this is a very, very difficult one to call to begin with, if I'm being totally honest. I've got a feeling this is going to be a draw. I think it'll be a high-scoring draw. Watford like to score goals, and Blackburn like to concede goals as well, but they do like to score as well. I'm going to go for a Desmond. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw between Blackburn Rovers and Watford. I think it could be a very, very interesting one, let's just say. But I do think it is going to be a 2-2 draw. Guys, remember to get your predictions in the live chat as well. And obviously, after the video, then please do get your predictions in the comment section down below as well. Hello to Jade, as Nathan's saying. And Nathan's gone for 1-0 Watford. Very interesting. I've just got a feeling it'll be a high-scoring game. High-scoring game as well. So the next one is low. Well, this is a very interesting game, this one. It is 23rd versus 15th as Huddersfield Town take on Wigan Athletic. Huddersfield, 3 defeats out of the last 5, not good form at all. Wigan, 2 wins, 2 draws, and a defeat. So they've been a little bit, better than Huddersfield. Let me just say that. But I have to say that when I watch Huddersfield, there's just something about them and Ryan Schofield as manager. It just doesn't look great for Huddersfield in the moment. And if I'm being honest, I think that they are in big trouble. I wouldn't be too surprised if he is actually out of a job soon. I would not be too surprised if he is. I know there's obviously you have to be loyal in this game, but for me, I just think Ryan Schofield as the Huddersfield Town boss is just not great. Is it Ryan Schofield? I think I don't know if it's Danny Schofield or something like that. But Wigan, to be fair to Wigan, they've had a good few results recently. They've had a few good results recently. Um, so it's going to be a very interesting game. I'm going to go for a very narrow 1-0 win to Wigan. I think Wigan should be able to win this game. I think they'll go away to Huddersfield. I think they'll defend for their lives, and I think they will win this one by 1-0. Jade saying hello to Nathan. Nathan's going for 2-1 to Wigan Athletic. Very, very interesting stuff indeed. And now we will go into a match where you'd have to say this game is probably a home win, but you never know. You never know. Hull City against Stoke City. Hull are not on the best of form either. 3 defeats, 1 win, and a draw in their last 5. Stoke have had 2 defeats, a win, and 2 draws in the last 5 as well. But the thing is with Hull, they're very, very good at home. I have been noticing this. They are very, very good at home, and I know obviously like Nathan's in the chat, I know Jade's in the chat, but if Hull City had played Cardiff, I would have probably expected Hull to probably go away from the Cardiff City Stadium with a win. But I have to say, Stoke City, I'm honestly baffled why Alex Neil has decided to go to Stoke. I really am baffled. He hasn't won a game yet. He hasn't won a game yet as Stoke manager. And the way Hull are playing at home, they are very, very good. So for me, I think this is a Hull victory. I'm going 3-0 to Hull. I think Hull City will dominate this game. Absolutely dominate this game. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory to the Tigers. Nathan going for 3-1 to Hull. And Matt's in. Hello, Matt. Apparently Bristol Rovers are at Ipswich tomorrow. Ooh, that's a big game. That's a very, very big game. We'll see if you win. See if Joey Barton's men go to Ipswich and win. Guys, remember to like the video and obviously subscribe if you are new as well. Stoke on RMS. Alex Neil will have absolutely no chance of turning it around. I am not sure. If he will or not. We come on to Middlesbrough against Cardiff City now. This is a very difficult game for Cardiff City. Middlesbrough, to be fair, they are picking up a little bit. 2 wins, 2 defeats, and a draw in their last 5. Cardiff are not in the best of form at the moment. 3 defeats and 2 draws in there for good measure. I mean, Middlesbrough don't score enough goals to say the very, very least. I mean, their last game was a 2-1 victory over Swansea. But I've got to say, I don't know what is going on with Cardiff City because defensively, they're an absolute shambles. Their away form is not the best either. Let's be honest, it is not the best. And I have to say that I can't see anything other than a Borough victory. I'm sorry, but I cannot see anything other than a Borough victory as well. But I have to say, with Cardiff getting Callum Robinson in on deadline day, I think that's a fantastic signing for them. I think that's a very, very good signing for them. Callum O'Dowda as well. It might not be so straightforward for Middlesbrough, but just recently, Cardiff in the relegation zone, Middlesbrough 17th. I expected a lot more from Middlesbrough. I have to be honest. I expected a lot more this season from Middlesbrough. I am going to go for a Middlesbrough victory, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Middlesbrough. I think it'll be a tight game. I think it'll be a very, very tight game. Cardiff will give their all. They'll give some good chances. And you would obviously hope that Callum Robinson decides to try and score. But yeah, for me, Middlesbrough 2-0. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. Middlesbrough 1, Cardiff 0, says Matt. Where do I start, says Nathan. I have to say 3-1 Middlesbrough. I think Cardiff finally scored a goal. That's me being hopeful. Bluebird Legend is in. Hello, Paul. Hope you're good. Watch Callum Robinson make his eagerly awaited debut for Cardiff against Middlesbrough and the possible return of Callum O'Dowda and Welsh international Colwell. This is not straightforward for Borough now. No, I think you're getting players right back at the right time. I think you're getting players back at the right time. 1 goal in 5 is completely unacceptable. There's a general toxicity around the Cardiff City Stadium at the moment, which has been around for 3 to 4 years. Something needs to be sorted ASAP. This game maybe midweek is a disgrace too. Yeah, I can't imagine you and your dad will be going to that game. Can't imagine you'll be going to that game at all. 1-1 draw, I hope, says Nathan. And Matt, I'll get to the next game, which is Swansea City against Sheffield United. Wow. Well, Swansea, they did get that win against QPR. Which was very, very good. But apart from that, 2 defeats, 2 draws, and a win in their last 5. Sheffield United, 4 wins and a draw. They are in very, very good form at this moment in time. And Ollie McBurney is returning to the Swansea City Stadium, wherever it's called these days. I know it was called the Liberty Stadium, but it's now called I can't remember what it's called, Swansea City Stadium. But I've got to be honest, Sheffield United are absolutely flying at the moment. And to be honest, I got a lot of pelters when I said Sheffield United could win this championship. I know it's way, way too early still. But for me, I just have a feeling that this season could be the year that Sheffield United would do win it. We could see it happen. But for this game, Sheffield United, comfortable win, 2-0. 2-0 away from home, I think, as well. Matt has gone for 2-1 to Sheffield United. Cardiff fans need to learn patience, says Paul. I hope Swansea don't win, so Swansea 1, Sheffield United 3. Who's your favourite team in the championship? I don't know, because my uncle supports Sunderland. I have a few sort of family members who sort of support championship clubs as well, but I don't know. I don't mind it. I don't mind watching the championship as a neutral. Let me just say that I do not mind watching the championship as a neutral. I do not mind that at all. Lots of fans have lost patience after a shocking 4 years. Give it a year or two, and the Tan out brigade will be in the majority. I put the numbers at 35% at the moment. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. And 3-0 Sheffield United. Yeah, I think Sheffield United should win this game as well. And we'll move on to the next game, which is Preston North End against Burnley. This is the late game. Is it the late game? I think it's the late game. Tomorrow. How are Preston doing? 1 draw, 1 win, and 3. Sorry, 1 win, 1 defeat, and 3 draws. Yeah, Preston lost their first game of the season against Birmingham, which was quite surprising. Burnley, 2 wins and 3 draws, which is not too bad for Burnley. Not too bad. I mean, the Vincent Kompany managerial arc is going really, really well for Burnley so far. This game, don't expect many goals because Preston don't score enough goals. They don't concede many. So don't be surprised if this is either 0-0 or 1-0 either way. But I'm going to go for the Burnley win. I'm going to go for 1-0 to Burnley. I think Burnley should win that one. As ever been honest, so I'm going for a 1-0 win to Burnley. 2012, 2013 day for second place was the best last day action of an English Welsh football, if you say so. 2-1 Burnley. They have a very good record at Deepdale. Yes, they do have a very good record at Deepdale. Preston don't score many, Nathan. Nope, absolutely not. Both Preston 1, Burnley 0. This is Shane. That's quite interesting. Matt's the memories. Yes, I would imagine that would be the case as well. And we'll move on to, I think it's now Wednesday's games, I think, if I'm being rightly. Luton Town against Coventry. Luton Town have not won a home game this season. Where did you think that was coming? Because Luton Town last season were amazing at home. They were fantastic at home. But just recently, it's just not happening for them at home. I mean, it's two wins, a draw, and 2 defeats in their last 5. They are coming up against a Coventry side who are bottom. They are bottom at the moment. 4 defeats and a draw. in there, so they need to get one, but they still have 4 games in hand, believe it or not. 3 games in hand, sorry, 3 games in hand. I don't know what it is with Luton, but they just can't seem to win at home. They just cannot seem to win at home at the moment, and I have a feeling Coventry are going to go there, and I've got a feeling the Coventry are going to win this. I'm going to go 2-1 to Coventry. Might be a bit of a shock, might be a bit of a surprise, but I just have a feeling that Coventry are going to beat Luton. But we will see. We will see indeed. Luton 3, Coventry 1. Interesting. Luton 2, Coventry 0, and Luton 2, Coventry 1. Yeah, so not many people are agreeing with me then. It doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter anyway. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion for these games. Nathan's gone for a 3-1 win to Luton. Very interesting stuff. Now we have a London derby. Millwall against QPR. Ho, 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 ho. Yes. Millwall, how are they doing? They have 1 win, 3 defeats, and a draw in the last 5. QPR, what are you? 2 wins, 2 defeats, and a draw. Okay, so it's not been too bad for QPR recently. Tricky one to call. Michael Beale's doing a fantastic job at QPR. Gary Rowett's Millwall doing a very, very good job as well. They are 14th at the moment, but a win for them would get them into the top 6, possibly. Could be getting them to the top 6. Very, very difficult one to call. Very, very difficult one to call. But if I had to say, because it's obviously at the Den, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Millwall. I think Millwall will win this one just. Championship, hardest league to predict in the world. Everyone have different opinions, yeah, definitely. 2-2 says Nathan. Shane O'Donnell's gone for 2-1 to Millwall, same as me. Nathan Football has gone for 2-2. Millwall 2, QPR 0. Very interesting. Did not need to press that again. The next game is ever improving Norwich City against Bristol City. Now, this is an interesting game actually, because Norwich City have won 5 out of the last 5. Bristol City have won 4 out of the last 5 as well. So this is a very difficult one to call, isn't it? Look, you have to say, Bristol City, Vyman playing out of his skin. Absolutely playing out of his skin this season, isn't he? I've been very impressed with Bristol City, but Norwich, they are getting back to where you would expect them to be, probably. They are a point under Sheffield United as well, but I think many people would probably expect Norwich to be sort of in the top 10 now. I think they would probably expect them to be kind of there anyway. But yeah, it's a tricky one to call. Don't be surprised if it ends in a draw, but I just think it's because it's the Carrow Road. I think I'm going to give Norwich the win. I am going to go 2-0 to Norwich. 2-0 to Norwich. I think Norwich will win this one. So, going to go for Norwich to win by 2-0. Norwich 3. I don't know what that is. Shite. I'm guessing shite. Hate to back them over the bridge, but 1-0 Wurzels. Interesting. Norwich 2, Bristol City 1. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. To a side who have really impressed me this season. They've really, really impressed me. I know they've kind of fallen down the table a little bit, but I didn't expect them to be in this position. Rotherham United against Blackpool. Rotherham, 13th at the moment. 3 draws, 1 win and a defeat, which is not too bad. Blackpool 11, 2 wins, 2 draws and a defeat. So not too bad. But it is at the New York Stadium. Rotherham for me are very, very good at home. I am actually going to go for a Rotherham United win. I think Rotherham will win this. I'm going to go 2-0 Rotherham. And again, that would put Rotherham into potentially the top half of the table. It could be very, very interesting. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Rotherham. I think Rotherham have been a little bit better at home this season than they have been away. Blackpool, probably better at Bloomfield Road than they are away. So yeah, I'm going to go for 2-0 to Rotherham in that one. 3-2 Norwich, says Nathan Football. 1-0 Millers. I'm guessing that's Rotherham. Yeah, it's Rotherham. Rotherham 1, Blackpool 2. Interesting. And Rotherham 1, Blackpool 2. And Rotherham 2-0, says Nathan Football. Now, this is a very difficult one to call. Very difficult one to call, this one. Reading against Sunderland. Reading against Sunderland. Reading are third in the table. Where did you see them being third in the table? You would expect them to probably fall down, as they'll probably fall at some point, but they have been fantastic. 4 wins out of the last 5, which is very, very good. Sunderland, patchy form, 3 defeats, 2 wins. So they're doing all right. They're doing all right. Reading at home are very, very good. Sunderland are not too bad away. This is a really difficult one to call. I am going to go for a draw in this game. I think this one is going to be very, very eagerly poised. Although Sunderland have a few injury worries. I believe Ross Stewart might be out for a wee bit, but they still do have Ellis Sims, don't they, Sunderland? So I would expect them to get a draw against Reading. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this one. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Nathan Football's gone for a 2-1 win to Sunderland. Reading 2, Sunderland 1, says Shane. Saying Reading that high makes me sick. 2-0 Sunderland. Reading 0, Sunderland 0. To be honest, I would not be too surprised if that is a draw either. I would not be too surprised if this is a draw. And the final game is a wee derby for you guys. West Brom against Birmingham City. West Brom. How are West Brom doing? Not great. 4 draws and a win in their last 5. Well, typical Steve Bruce, isn't it? It's typical Steve Bruce. Birmingham, 1 win, 3 defeats, and a draw. I mean, their last win was obviously against Preston, which was a very, very good result for Birmingham. Sorry, but Birmingham. Obviously, sorry to Nathan Football. I know that I think probably you kind of expected Birmingham to be in this position by this start of the season, but you know what? They have actually. That win against Preston was very, very good. West Brom. You can never predict West Brom, can you? You can never predict West Brom. But it is at the Hawthorns. They have just signed Tom Rogic as well. By the way, they have just signed ex-Celtic player Tom Rogic, which is very interesting signing. It has to be said. I think that's a very, very good signing. I'm gonna go for a. I'm going to go for a West Brom win. I'm going to go 2-0 to West Brom. I think they should be able to see this out, but Birmingham will give them a good game for sure. So we will see that one anyway. Shane's gone 2-0 to West Brom. 1-1, come on, you Blues, says Nathan. This is tough. West Brom 6 draws already this season. A draw is screaming out 2-2. West Brom 2, Birmingham 2, says Matt's. Very, very interesting stuff. If this was at St Andrews, 100% Zulus win. Yes, I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that as well. So just to obviously clarify, that is the predictions for match week 10 done and dusted. I will go for my predictions very, very quickly, and then obviously I will end this live stream. So thank you to everyone who's obviously watched this. But remember to get your predictions down in the comments after the video is ended, and obviously leave it a like as well. So I've gone Blackburn 2, Watford 2, Huddersfield 0, Wigan 1, Hull City 3, Stoke 0, Middlesbrough 2, Cardiff 0, Swansea City 0, Sheffield United 2, Preston 0, Burnley 1, Luton Town 1, Coventry City 2, Millwall 2, QPR 1, Norwich City 2, Bristol City 0, Rotherham 2, Blackpool 0, Reading 1, Sunderland 1, and West Brom 2, Birmingham City 0. So there we go, guys. That is it. That is the match week 10 predictions done and dusted. Obviously, the next fixtures will be obviously match week 11. Probably be live on Thursday for match week 11. If obviously I've got time to do a pre-recorded video, then I'll be able to do that as well. But not sure. Not sure. I am a very, very busy man when it comes to work. And yeah, it has to be said anyway. But thank you very much for watching. Guys, remember to leave your predictions in the comments section down below. And thank you very much for watching and enjoy the midweek football. See you later. Bye-bye.